Welcome to Tactical Reviews for a really detailed look at the NITECORE EDC29, one of the latest in their ultra slim high performance range, also termed Luminblade and featuring a Lumin Shield high level output. And we can see with a headline figure of 6,500 lumen. So before we come in much closer, here is the EDC29. We'll just see what else comes in the box. So little insert, we have a clip lanyard, the instructions, warranty card and USB-C charging cable. So let's come and have a look at all of the details of the EDC29. Just before we start going around the EDC29 itself, so there's a nice feature that NITECORE provide you with for when you're fitting lanyards, whatever, wrist straps and so on, because you have what's relatively wide, comfortable wide cord, and you're trying to fit it through what isn't easy. The shape in the clip for where the lanyard fits is quite tight, so they always give you like a fitting cord. So here we have quite a tough, finer cord, and what we can simply do with that is post that through easily, if I can keep the ends lined up, and that allows us to pull our lanyard through where it's meant to be. Now there's no way, apart from poking it through, I could possibly hope to do that without this little bit of tough cord. And then that brings us to having that lanyard nicely fitted. Just a nice little detail that makes all the difference for when you need to do a small job like that. So with the EDC29 there are some nice developments from previous versions. So of these ultra slim lights, the EDC27 is the one that I've been carrying for some time now, and really nice upgrades. And it doesn't mean this light is irrelevant, because you'll see that it is still slimmer, but what we have is a massive jump in output and several other features that we'll go through now. So for the EDC27, with the lockout on that relies on actioning the button. So I have to half press and then hold, and that unlocks. And to lock it, I need to, from on, needs to be pressing and holding, wait for the lock 1, lock 2. So in terms of activation, and I would never leave it in lock 1 personally, this sits in a bag, and when I reach for it, the number of times that I hit that main Lumin Shield button is just not worth it, so I have to leave it permanently locked. But it does mean that coming from standby to active use is a little bit slow, needs a bit of thought. So put that aside and step in the EDC29, where as well as that massive increase in output, we'll stick on the lock at the moment. I'm going to show you the LEDs in a moment. So we now have a physical lockout switch. So very simply, back is locked. Just see what the screen shows. That's telling us that it's locked. You also get a status, the battery voltage comes up and the level that it's set on. And then simply forward and it's unlocked and working. So that to me is one of the biggest functional changes. As well as that, so ignoring for the moment that main high output button, which is the larger one here, so our small sort of everyday mode button, we're now able to pre-select which mode that's going to come on. What is nice is that from off, okay, unlocked, the half press will always be the lowest output mode. So that's momentary, half press, and it means that as long as it's unlocked, you can always guarantee with just that half press that you're getting the lowest mode. If you then tap once for status, let's zoom in, we'll do this live as we go. So one tap and we got the status. So you can see it said level 1. Let's do it this way. So we've got level 1. Level 1 is not the fact that the half press will come on level 1, but it's the main output mode. Now if I half press, press again, I get level 2. Press again, level 3. That means that although half pressing will give me the lowest level 1, when I fully press it, it's going to come on in level 3, which I pre-selected. While it's on, I can cycle those modes, but that pre-selection means that I can have, say, level 2 pre-selected, half press for level 1, full press into level 2, off, and then I think actually, you know what, I'm just gonna set it ready for level 3. Still, half press gives me the lowest, full press, I'm straight into level 3. That is a subtle change, but it is enormously useful. And because you get that half press status, I haven't actually turned it on. Half press, it's not on, it's just giving me the status. So I've got a battery voltage and the level it's going to come on. Locked. Half press now tells me that it's locked. Whoops. Semi-lock. I think I know why that's happened, because I managed to push on the main output button when I locked it. So full lock. So you do still have that option of the semi-lock, but the semi-lock means that the normal modes are locked out and only the super high power modes are available. Not my thing. Okay, so it's going to bring our EDC29 in. So remembering that I think it's 3000 lumen output. So as a light, it is slimmer. This isn't irrelevant. It's just different. But the interface is, for me, much better on the EDC29. But now you've got a thicker light. But there is a reason. 6,500 reasons. All those extra lumens. And we'll need to come in closer, and it's difficult to see that we have two UHi LEDs now in the front of the EDC29, and you should be able to see there that they are 9 core, so central flood beam, and then 8 central spot and 8 flood LEDs around. So the output of those is pretty spectacular. Compare that to So we've got a TIR optic with single LEDs in the front of the, two single LEDs in the front of the EDC27, and those two 9-core UHi LEDs in the front of the EDC29. So let's see if I can pick that up coming in a bit closer. Okay, so come in about as close as I can on the front of the EDC29. I have to cut my hand around it because unless I do, it's just washed out like that. So that's the reason why I keep putting my hand around it. Here's the EDC27. Those next to each other. So you can see why there's the capability of 6,500 lumen. Also, while we're in at this level, you'll see just at the bottom here that little hole in the reflector, and that's a sensor to detect if the front of the light is too close, and it can shut down on the everyday modes. I think because the super Lumin Shield outputs are effective, they're just timed. That I will show you in a moment. This is so for the permanently on mode, and helps prevent if this light is too close to something and ramps down that output. So just look at those UHi LEDs and the twin orange peel reflector. So not a TIR like it was in the EDC27, so we've got a glass lens at the front here. So that's looking in at the LED. Just a little swap now. So I've got to be a bit careful here because I'm going to activate the maximum mode because I want you to see the countdown. In fact, the main power button here, if you half press it, the center LEDs, the spot LEDs, light up and you get around 3,000 lumen, I think. Need to check the specs. And fully press and all the cores are lit up and you get the 6,500. Both of those are timed. So let's have a go at the spot. Oh, I'm locked. Okay. So spot, and you see the power remaining, as long as I keep the button held, counting down, and it's reduced to a normal high output. When I let go, that actually recovers. So then you know you can go for it again. So now, being careful because I'm aiming this at myself, we're going to go with the maximum output. And you can see again the power remaining counting down, and it's dropped. And now I'm continue to hold the button down, but I'm just getting the high output. Let go, and it counts back up to recover. That recovery might not be full because I can tell you the head of this light now is very hot. 6,500 lumens, and that gets really hot, uncomfortably so. So just beware. It's good that that high power is limited for thermal and other safety reasons. So just going to let that cool down a little bit. Okay, still not quite perfectly cool, but and you can see the warning on it here. What we're going to do at this level is just run around all of the features. So it's very nicely made out of these pressed steel sections and screwed together. Here we have the pocket clip, which has that lanyard fixing area. You can see underneath the contouring or shaping underneath to allow that pocket clip to grip even right up here where it's getting wider. Just a small grip area, all those fixing screws. So USB-C charging port under a little rubber cover. These both spacers and grip pieces down the side. So as a, actually not 100% sure technically what the reason might be, but this section here, the scaly section, and here, these are plastic, so coming through the metal panels, and again here, and we have that little OLED screen allowing you to set it up and check the status. The lockout switch, so fully locked, move it forward to unlock. There's grip panels. UHi LEDs, and then our main mode power switch, and the Lumin Shield maximum output switch, which is effectively recessed slightly. What you find is when you're using this, so for a right hand grip, I want to see the screen. My thumb does have a tendency when I'm accessing the daily mode button to hit that. So if I, again with a left hand grip, but being able to see the screen, now when I press that everyday button, it's I'm not going to hit the high output button. So it sort of means with the right-handed grip, I have to turn it around the wrong way really. The safest thing is to have this button towards your thumb. Let's just zoom out a little tiny bit there, so that as you activate it, you're not in danger of pushing, see, like that. I hit the main, just keep hitting the main button. So obviously if you want that main button, then whichever one you want should be closer to your thumb really. But if you're operating and you slightly awkwardly reach the normal button there, you can just mash it down and get the maximum output. Anyway, that's just a minor ergonomic point. Just notice when I swapped it, I always like to see the screen, and when I swapped between left-handed use, it was much easier. So for right-handed, I have to kind of hold it the wrong, what I would think the wrong way round. So just a quick look in those instructions. You can see these instructions as a PDF online, so you can get hold of these for a closer look rather than looking in the video here, but just that main layout and the specified modes. So the question is, and this will be in the full review on Tactical Reviews, can it achieve 6,500 lumens? Well, check out the full review to see whether it has. And that's where I'm going to leave this video, EDC29 from NITECORE. Thank you for joining me, and remember, get informed, be prepared, stay sharp.